This next welcome is really, really important. These are the people that are your support team, graduates. With the families, the moms, the dads, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, big mama and them, please stand so we can recognize you. We know that this day would not be possible if it were not for you, and not just your financial support, but also your prayers and encouragement and love that you have, and sharing your loved ones with us here at Clark Atlanta University. We appreciate you as well. Now, the most important folks in the room, join me in welcoming the graduating class of 2023 and 2024. We also have another very special group that's included with this graduating class. With the inaugural class in the first graduating class of the New Leaders National Aspiring Principals Fellowship Program, please stand. This is our inaugural class in the National Aspiring Principals Fellowship Program. And they're from around the country, not just here in Atlanta. So thank you for being with us today. And again, welcome to each of you, and thank you for your support of the School of Education and these wonderful graduates. I am proud to introduce our Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Accreditation, Dr. Daniel Teodorescu, who will provide the purpose of the pudding and recognize our scholar graduates, as well as our inaugural Dr. Trevor Turner Dissertation Award recipients this evening. Dr. Teodorescu.
So today, as we gather for this special pudding ceremony, we are not just celebrating your accomplishments, we are also taking part in a tradition that stretches back centuries, all the way to Middle Ages. Believe it or not, we have records showing that as early as 1321, students at the University of Coimbra, Portugal, were required to wear gowns. Back then, it wasn't just for looks. Monks were hoods to stay warm in those chilly, unheated buildings. And trust me, with their shaved heads, they kind of needed it. Later on, those hoods evolved into the caps and the mortarboards that we see today. By the time Henry VIII was ruling England, Oxford and Cambridge universities had already made long gowns the requirements for their students. However, it wasn't until much later in the late 1800s, right here in the United States, that colors were assigned to different academic fields. A group of university leaders convened at Columbia University and established the standard for graduation attire, designating light blue for education, the very field we are honoring today. That's why we are surrounded by a sea of blue. Now, if you're curious about the colors for the other fields, I could explain, but we'll be here all day. If you have a few minutes today or tomorrow, just Google it. And you will quickly learn how to identify not only the degree level someone has earned, bachelor, master, or doctorate, but also their specific field of study. You will even discover the fascinating reasons behind each color choice. And what about those cords you see being worn by many of our graduates? Just like the robes and hoods, cords have their roots in history. They were once used in the Catholic and Anglican churches to show the different ranks of the clergy. Today, they are not just stylish accessory, they signify membership in honor societies or other academic achievements. And speaking of honor societies, would the members of our Chi Sigma Iota stand up? Kappa Delta Pi, stand up. We have any Kappa Delta Pi?
Stand. All right.
Phi Delta Kappa, Georgia Association of Educators. So these scholars have done amazing work both in class and outside the class. We'd like also to recognize a few of our students that have been admitted to graduate programs and will start another exciting educational journey in the fall. In elementary education, we have Ms. Amara Jackson was accepted into DePaul University for the master program in studies. Ms. Brianna Robinson was accepted to University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, for the master program in educational policy and leadership. In the clinical mental health counseling, Ms. Kelly Barbura was accepted into Mercer for the PhD program in counselor education and supervision. We hope that we prepare you well here for the next stage in your educational journey. We are so proud of you and we wish you the best. I would also like to call the names of those students who earned their degree with a perfect 4.0 GPA. Would you please stand as I call your name? Kelly Barbour. Christina Bradley. Western Dandridge. Kawan Briggs. Terry Gibbon. Fernando Green. Brittany Davis. Ashley Oconta Matthews. Johnny Miller Jr., Benjamin Middle, Hector Sanchez, Shakira Williams. Let's give a big round of applause to his incredible staff. We also have a published author in the class of 2024. Dr. Terry Gibbon recently released her book, Centering Our Voices, The Brilliance, Persistence, and Significance This anthology, which features our esteemed Dr. Valerie Bennett on our faculty, shines light on the unique experiences, challenges, and victories of Black women in education. Dr. Gavin, we are so proud of your accomplishment, and we can't wait to see what you write next. And now for a moment that's very special to the Educational Leadership Department. It's my honor to announce the very first recipients of Dr. Trevor Turner Dissertation Award for 2024. Speaking of Dr. Turner, we are thrilled to have him with us today, right here among our faculty. Dr. Turner, will you please stand up and let us show our appreciation. Now, many of you may already know Dr. Turner, but for those who haven't had the pleasure, let me tell you, this man is a legend. Yeah. He's dedicated 40 years of his life to this university. He's not just an educator, so he's a lifelong educator. He's been a teacher, a school leader, a professor, a department chair, and even a dean, twice a dean. In 2014, he received the prestigious Vulcan Teacher of the Year Award. As a Dean of School of Education, he tirelessly led the school to national accreditation by NK, setting an inspiring example for other deans on campus. He's also been a champion for future school leaders through the ELSA program, our Educational Leadership Student Association, mentoring countless educators, faculty members, and university leaders. But perhaps his most profound impact has been on the students who passed through our Ed Leadership EDD program. Dr. Turner has touched the lives of hundreds, shaping leaders who have gone on to influence policy, practice, and research in countless ways. I personally remember when I first arrived at CAU in 2017, I was lucky enough to be part of several dissertation defenses with Dr. Turner, back before, in the days before Zoom, when we were actually sitting in a room. And let me tell you, it was a joy to be in the same room with him. A colleague once described him perfectly. He is always bound to say something profound. And it was true. He held our students to the highest intellectual standards while also being incredibly supportive of their work. Both students and faculty in our program loved being in his presence. Even after retiring full-time teaching in 2017, Dr. Turner's passion for education hasn't wavered. He continues to teach as an adjunct in our online higher ed program, generously sharing his time and expertise with our future leaders. Today, we are proud to present 2 dissertation awards in his name, one for higher education EDD and one for the K-12 Educational Leadership EDD. These awards recognize outstanding dissertations that have the potential to make a real difference in the field of education. And now let me present the recipients. For K-12 Leadership, the award goes to Dr. Hector Sanchez. His dissertation is entitled A Case Study of the Cultural Historical Practices, Readiness Assessment Process, and his dissertation advisor was Dr. Barbara Hill. Congratulations. For the higher ed program, the recipient is Dr. Wesley Dandridge. For his dissertation entitled Chain Reaction, a Mixed Method Study examining the outcomes of inequitable state funding in Maryland's public historical HBCU. His dissertation advisor was Dr. Chikwa Kwon. Congratulations on your achievements. Job well done. We are so proud of you and we wish you the best.
We have outstanding students, or your graduates, soon to be graduates in the School of Education. Let's give them another round of applause. They make our jobs really, really easy because you all do such great work. And so we're just so immensely proud of all of your accomplishments that you've accomplished while you're here with students. So we can't wait to see what happens after tomorrow. So thank you. I did not recognize some other very important people, and I apologize. We have Ms. Bettina DeBerry, who is the Executive Director for Operational Affairs, Special Assistant to the Dean. We have a variety of staff assistants that are here, Ms. Betty Cook, Ms. Markia Allman, and Ms. Denise Barnes, who are here working really, really hard to make sure that we have a successful pudding. So I want to make sure that we recognize our wonderful staff. Also, we have in the room our Upper Bound and Trio program staff, right over here. My favorite folks over there in the corner over here. So our Trio staff is here as well. So thank you all for being here. You're always with us. I have the pleasure now of introducing our Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Charlene Gilbert. Dr. Gilbert serves as the Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs here at Clark Atlanta University. As the institution's Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Gilbert is responsible for the academic enterprise across the university. Her direct responsibilities include the university's 4 schools: the School of Arts and Sciences, the School of Business, the School of Education, and the Whitney M. Young School of Social Work. In addition, her portfolio includes the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs, the Center for Cancer Research and Therapeutic Development, Graduate Education, Online Education, and the University Art Museum. She wears a lot of hats. Since joining Clark Atlanta University on June 1st, 2023, Dr. Gilbert has focused on several key academic priorities, including student success, faculty success, and operational excellence. Her first set of initiatives have included a comprehensive student success roadmap aimed at increasing completion rates and ensuring students are on track for graduation and post-graduation success, program planning for a new student success building expected to be completed in 2026, and increased resources for faculty professional development. Prior to joining Clark Atlanta University, Dr. Gilbert served as a Senior Vice Provost for Student Academic Excellence at The Ohio State University. where her portfolio included undergraduate education, graduate education, academic programs, and the Student Success Research Lab. Dr. Gilbert is a recipient of several awards and fellowships, including the Rockefeller Media Arts Fellowship, the Harvard University Radcliffe Institute for Advanced Study Fellowship, the Kellogg National Leadership Fellowship Award, and the American Council on Education Fellowship. Dr. Gilbert earned her bachelor's degree from Yale University, a Master of Arts from Temple University, and her doctorate from the University of Nebraska. Please join me in welcoming our esteemed Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Charlene Gilbert.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Dean Turner, for that lovely introduction. Greetings to the class of 2024. Your dean, the amazing Dean Turner, the fabulous School of Education faculty and staff, and all the friends, family, and community supporters who are here this afternoon. It's really good to see you all. Today we have the privilege of honoring the students who have earned their degrees from CAU's illustrious School of Education. The student speaker just stole two of my talking points, but I'm going to repeat them because they're worth repeating. The School of Education is ranked number 3 among schools of education in the state of Georgia. That is every single school of education in the state of Georgia. We are number 3. We're number 3 among all HBCU schools in the nation, and we're the number 1 school of education among all HBCU schools in the state of Georgia. You all are part of an amazing community of scholars here, and obtaining your degree here at CAU is a testament to the hard work, the talent, and the determination each of you have invested in your education. You have excelled, and your provost, your dean, your faculty, and the staff here in the School of Education all gather here today to celebrate your exceptional achievement. It has been our privilege and an honor to have you in our classrooms and as members of this academic community. To the students, I just want to say you have all made it here this afternoon, and you did it through perseverance and determination and a specific kind of brilliance that I hope has lit in you a fire for lifelong learning and the pursuit of knowledge. On these occasions, when I have the honor of being invited to say a few words and bring greetings, I think about what I'd like to say, and I'd like to humbly offer you just a few words that might be useful to you as you begin the next chapter of your life. I will say that I was at one of the events, and there have been a lot this week, so they're all beginning to come together. I was at an event, and the speaker told a story about, he was quoting Martin Luther King, Jr., and it was a story about being like the best little bush you could be by the side of the lake. And it sounded really familiar. It was familiar because my mother, at her baccalaureate address, it was Martin Luther King, Jr. who delivered that sermon and told that story about the bush by the lake. And my mother told it to me and my brother every day that we were growing up. And I used to always say, I don't know why she keeps telling us this. Eventually, I understood it was about striving for excellence wherever you are. But more importantly, what struck me was that something that someone said to her over 50 years ago, she carried with her, and now I stand before all of you, thanks to the grace of God and HBCUs, to come before you to hopefully offer some small words of encouragement. So my first bit of advice is that I hope that you all will breathe. I hope you'll just take some time during the receptions, the parties, and the ceremonies to just sit with all that you have accomplished. Take a moment to breathe deeply, look around, and hold on to this memory. You have all worked so hard and accomplished so much. Don't rush past this milestone. Stop, breathe, so you can carry these moments with you. One day, somewhere along the way, these moments will inspire you, they will fulfill you, they will bring you joy and comfort as you begin new chapters and take new paths, so hold on to it. Second, remember, most of you have worked extraordinarily hard to be here, and many of you have been working hard towards this moment for many, many years. And I know that many of you began this journey during COVID, and that was one of the hardest things you may face in your lifetime. Certainly as a nation, that was one of the hardest moments, and you came through it, and you came through it, you're on track, and now you're here. You need to honor yourself and congratulate yourselves for that. And in a few days, not in a few days, tomorrow, you will become part part of a very elite group. Only 37% of adults over 25 have a college degree. Only 13% of American adults over the age of 25 have a master's degree or higher. Your graduation from Parkland University is not only a joyful time for you and your families and your loved ones, but it is a time of hope and inspiration for all of us who believe, as I do, that you are leaving this university to enter a world that is in need of your skills, your knowledge, and your compassionate leadership. I think today, more than at any other time in recent memory, the world is in need of the specific kind of brilliance that fills this room tonight. Also, remember, as already has been said to you, you didn't get here by yourself. You were here thanks to the support, love, and commitment of your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, your faculty friends, and supporters. There have been people all along the way who have helped navigate the obstacles, provided financial support, sent money when you needed it, provided emotional support and academic support. Would you mind if we just take a minute and have all the family members and all our supporters just stand up? There you go. Round of loud applause. When I see all of the folks out there who made this day possible and your support in your community, what it reminds me is that that we are on really holy ground here. And I recall many years ago I was living in Washington, D.C., and I was a member of a very large church filled with lots of successful folk. I remember the pastor one day looked out and said, "Has anyone here ever had their prayers answered?" And a few people stood up. And then I think he was like, not enough people stood up. So he looked up again, he looked around and said, "Could all the lawyers in the room stand up? Could all the doctors in the room stand up? Could all the teachers and the engineers and the social workers?" And when they all stood, he said, "You may not have had a prayer answered, but I'm here to tell you that each of you are the answer to somebody's prayers." I know that some of these people here have been praying for you every day that you have been at Parkland University. You are the answers to your mother and your father's prayers, your grandfather's prayers, your grandmother's prayers. But more importantly, I also want you to know, standing on this ground, this sacred ground here at Parkland University, you are the answer to the prayers of your ancestors, who were told that if they tried to learn to read and write, they would be killed. They could be beaten. They could be punished for just picking up a book. And yet, within months of earning of their freedom here, they said, "We will build our own school. We will teach our children." And they built this place. And you are the inheritors of that legacy. You will carry that legacy forward. You honor that legacy by your accomplishments today. So thank you. Third thing I would like to offer is that I ask all of you to take care of yourselves. I've said this, I'm going to keep saying it because it's so important right now, because I know that there's so much stress on all of you. And I know there's been so much stress for you to get here. But just remember that even the best students, and I can see y'all are clearly some of the best students here. Even the best students, the students with perfect GPAs, the students who get inducted into honor societies, even the very, very best students have bad days. We all have bad days. So I encourage you to remember that as you continue to push yourself towards the next challenge, the next bar, I want you to remember to take time to take care of yourself. Your entire self, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional well-being. And if you find yourself losing yourself along the way, always ask for help. You will never be the first person, the only person, or the last person to feel overwhelmed, depressed, or anxious. Life, work, family challenges, health challenges can all be very stressful. But there are resources to support you at every stage of your career and in every setting. Plan on getting help when you need help. Plan on asking for what you need. Plan for your own well-being. I have no doubt that each of you will be the kind of people who show up with your full selves for new jobs, new professional programs, and your families. But as you travel this exciting road filled with opportunities for service and professional fulfillment, you must never forget to take care of yourself. You will have bad days. I hope and believe your good days will far outnumber your bad days. But on those bad days, you'll need to remember fight for yourself as hard as you would fight for anyone else. Lastly, I'd like to ask that you give what you've been given. I'd like to ask that as you bask in the joy, the richness, the satisfaction of your academic success, I'd like to ask you to try to give to others what has been given to you, whether that is kindness, opportunity, or assistance. If someone opened the door for you to be in this room tonight, please be sure to hold that door open for someone else, mentor someone, champion someone, inspire someone. When I was in my 20s, we used to wear a shirt that said, each one teach one. That's my charge to you. In conclusion, on occasions like today in this auditorium all across America, there are people trying to come up with things to tell graduates. And you're not going to remember most of what I said or what anybody said. You're going to remember getting the degree and walking across the stage. And that's all right. But there are a few quotes that came to mind that I thought maybe might be useful. The first one, education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs only to the people who prepare for it today. You all are prepared. That's from Malcolm X. Nelson Mandela, he said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Change this world for the better. It is in your hands now, and we need your leadership and your love and your vision. And our beloved Martin Luther King Jr. stated, the function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of a true education. Lastly, I would like to ask you, as you leave this place and begin the next and perhaps greatest chapter of your lives, I hope you remember to be brave, to be kind, and to be curious. Brave enough to pursue your greatest dreams, kind enough to show compassion for others and yourself if things do not work out the way you always hope they will, and always curious about your potential, your own potential, and the potential that lies in others. I wish you all the very best. I'm so proud of your accomplishments and so proud to know that you will leave this institution prepared to take advantage of all that life has to offer. I wish for you all good things, and as you begin your journey, remember that you carry with you a proud legacy. You carry with you the knowledge that you are graduates of one of the oldest HBCUs in the nation. You are part of a legacy. You stand on the shoulders of intellectual giants like W.E.B. Du Bois, who walked the grounds of this campus for decades. You stand on the shoulders of men and women who, in the face of hate and terror, decided to find a way of making it, and they did just that. You are the inheritors of that legacy. Your accomplishments today honor that legacy, so thank you. Thank you for all your hard work, for your commitment, your pursuit of excellence, and for sharing with us your very best selves and allowing us to share with you the very best of Clark Atlanta University. So this afternoon, as we wish you well in your next chapter, and no matter where you go next, we here at Clark Atlanta University will be holding you in our thoughts and our hearts and our prayers. We will be cheering you on from the sidelines and always here for you as you make your way in the world. And I promise this is my final quote. This is from Nelson Mandela, the first democratically elected president of South Africa. He said, "I never lose. I either win or I learn." Please remember, you will never lose in life. You are a panther. You will either win or you will learn, but you will never lose. Keep winning, keep learning, and be well on the journey. Congratulations.
Thank you, Provost Gilbert, for those kind remarks and that charge to our graduates. I'm going to try my best to stick to what I have here. It's going to be a little hard. First of all, I don't like goodbyes. I'm the parent, Dr. Ray. When I drop my son off at school, I get teary-eyed. I'm the parent I'm the son that leaves his parents in North Augusta, South Carolina, and when I pull off, I get teary-eyed. And so I've developed such special relationships with so many of you. I've walked into Target and Shania's there. She's seen me with my baseball cap on and jeans. She's working there and then also going to school and doing an internship. And then there's Shaq, who I met as an undergraduate student who had a baby. And now she's getting her master's. She's talked to my son. then there are others who worked here at the university who spent time in my office debating whether they should go back to school or not. And then there are others I've been on Zoom with that I didn't get to see you until today. And then I have to say, as they say, my babies up front and the wife that are with us every Tuesday and Thursday. They come to my office to get Rice Krispie treats. It's just hard to say goodbye. When you love people, it's hard to say goodbye to them. But it's not going to be goodbye, is it? It's going to be see you later. Okay? So I'm going to stick to the script while my nose is doing this thing up here. My charge to the graduates. Today's ceremony prompts one significant memory for me. On this very day, 31 years ago, I marched across the stage to earn my doctoral degree. And Dr. Turner was my dean, and he read every line of our dissertations, right, Dr. Ray? He read every line of that dissertation. And I have tried to replicate that, Dr. Turner. I read every dissertation from all of you. I read every line, and I get feedback. Did I not? Okay. On that day, it felt surreal for me to be earning my doctorate. And I must say today, it still feels just as surreal as I stand before you as the Dean of the School of Education. The lesson from my experience is that you can not always predict what God has in store for you. You may have a plan, but now I realize that God has a unique roadmap or journey for each of us. Today I stand before you not only as a dean, but I also stand before you with really good news that's been shared a couple of times already, but I want to share it again. This is spectacular news. We recently received our U.S. News and World Rankings for the School of Education, and we're ranked out of hundreds of schools, 144 nationally. We're ranked number 3 among all schools of education in the state of Georgia. We're ranked number 3 among all schools of education at HBCUs. And we're ranked number 1 among all schools in the state of Georgia among HBCUs. And I have to say, look at God. These rankings are a testament to our hardworking, caring, and dedicated faculty and staff within the School of Education, and all of the support that we receive from across our beloved campus. It's also a testament to the wonderful students that we have here at Clark Atlanta University. Please join me in honoring the faculty, staff, and students. Graduates, I'm talking to you. This is your day, and tomorrow's your day. Okay, so when the families are selecting restaurants, just remember, it's my day. Please take a minute, graduates, to pause and savor this moment. This weekend will go by very, very quickly. You and your families will cherish this moment forever, trust me. My parents still talk about it. Class of 2024, you look wonderful. Family, faculty, and staff do not agree. They look wonderful. Isn't it a blessing that we are here in this moment and space? Many of you began your journey with us during the pandemic. You witnessed the closing of our beloved campus, losing loved ones, taking care of family impacted by the pandemic. Yet we remain grateful, hopeful, resilient, and steadfast. You each entered the university feeling a mixture of pride, uncertainty, excitement, and curiosity. Each of you have unique backgrounds, challenges, opportunities, and successes. You have accomplished your goal of completing your educational journey, and we are all so very proud of you. The School of Education faculty and staff have provided you with the preparation for you to excel in your respective professional areas. Please remember that earning a bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degree is not the end of your educational journey. Learning and education is a lifetime commitment. Thank you for joining us in this journey from your initial enrollment, your matriculation, and now your graduation. Graduates, my charge to you is very simple. I will leave you with 6 simple tasks. If I offer any advice today, your first order of business as a learner and leader is to take responsibility for your own zone of personal, intellectual, professional, and spiritual development. As both of my late grandmothers would often say, you must have a made-up mind to make it in this world. 2, assemble a team of mentors and guides. Mentors and trusted guides are instrumental for personal and professional growth and development. 3, do not forget your ancestry and histories. Our mothers, fathers, grandparents, ancestors paid a tremendous price for your ability to have the opportunity to have this education and all of the opportunities that await you. Never forget who you are and where you have come from. 4, never forget to say thank you to those who have helped you, whether it was that professor that provided you that opportunity to earn that extra credit to boost your grade, or the CAU staff member that expedited your registration or your refund check, amen, or the custodian that kept your dormitory room clean. Everybody along your journey matters. Take a moment over the next few days to say thank you to that family member that had your back. That sent you that care package, or made that urgently requested Cash App or Zelle deposit into your account. Saying thank you costs us nothing. Number 5, live your dream, build your dream. Dream building involves the following: pinpointing your desires and being honest with yourself, setting goals and working towards those goals, staying committed to remaining a lifelong learner, and as Dr. Gilbert said, take good care of your health and your emotional and mental health. Self-care and rest is essential. Try not to live in fear. I have learned that the lessons learned from failure, adversity, and tragedy actually groom us for greatness. And most importantly, don't worry about what other people think or say. Live your dream. And number 6, lastly, but most important, don't forget to pray. Prayer changes all things. Great days are ahead for each of you. I know that. Our deepest appreciation to parents and grandparents, spouses, partners, family, and friends for your role in making today possible for these smart, resilient, thoughtful, y'all are so thoughtful and kind. You're such kind and just wonderful people. And your parents raised great people. The arc of this moment originated long ago, and you each bear the responsibility for the successes that these graduates will celebrate today. Graduates, thank you for joining the School of Education for your journey, for your openness to what we have offered, for what we have contributed to one another, and what you have offered to the School of Education and the university, and for all that you will offer to the world. You are always welcome to return home. This is your home. Call us if you need us. Keep us updated on those great careers that are before you. And yes, I will write those letters of recommendation. Thank you for being some of the best students, and congratulations, and we love each one of you. Thank you. And back to that with not crying too much, okay. I have the pleasure now of presenting our Clark Atlanta University Booker T. Washington Early College Program graduates. Will the Clark Atlanta Booker T. Washington Early College graduates please stand? I have the pleasure of serving as an on-campus high school principal on Tuesday and Thursday for our wonderful Booker T. Washington Early College Scholars that are duly enrolled at Booker T. Washington High School, which is not very far from here, and Clark Atlanta University. These students have been with us for the last 2 years. Yes, they are high school students taking college courses. They will each enter college with college credits, thus placing them as advanced freshman students and or almost sophomores as they begin their college experience. Josoria Blanchard, would you please come forward? Josoria is a class of 2024 top 10% Booker T. Washington High School graduate. She is an honor student with a 3.5 GPA and is a member of Future Business Leaders of America. Josoria will graduate with Booker T. Washington and Clark Atlanta with 12 college credits. Josoria will attend her dream school, South Carolina State University, with plans to study accounting. Look out for future accountant, business owner, and CEO, Josoria Blanchard. Another future Clark Atlanta student. Okay. Alara Clance. Alara? Honor Scholar Alara Clance is graduating near the top of her Booker T. Washington 2024 class. She's a member of the National Beta Club, the Book Club, Poetry Out Loud Club, Art Club, and Family, Career, and Consumer Leaders of America. Alara has been accepted into 10 colleges and awarded over $170,000 in scholarship money. She will study psychology at Georgia State University in the fall. Alara Clance. Chloe Wilson. Chloe is a top scholar at the Booker T. Washington High School. She will graduate Booker T. Washington with a 3.5 GPA and 24 college credits. She is a member of several organizations, including Family, Career, and Consumer Leaders of America, Future Health Professionals, and Student Government Association. Chloe also served as a Booker T. Washington Student Athletic Trainer for 2 years. She has been accepted into 25 colleges and awarded over $400,000 in scholarship money. Chloe will attend Kennesaw State University and plans to study public relations with a minor in advertising and digital media. Her goal is to become a publicist. Chloe Wilson. Say this to our Booker T. Washington High School graduates. When you get over to Georgia State and South Carolina State and Kennesaw State and you feel like you need to come back home, remember you have Clark Atlanta University already on your transcript, right? So you can always come back. Okay, there's no shame in that at all. Okay, so if you get over there, you get a little homesick for Clark Atlanta and fried chicken Wednesdays, you come on back home to Clark Atlanta University. We'd love to have you. And I want to also thank Mrs. Stembridge Taylor for all of her work and collaboration with us, and Mr. Berry, who has served as the assistant principal with these students as well. We will now have the presentation of and hooding of our graduates from our departments of curriculum and instruction, led by Dr. Christian Douglas, our Department of Counselor Education, led by Dr. Crystal Giddings and Dr. Chastity Todd, and the presentation and hooding of our graduates from the Department of Educational Leadership by Dr. Sonia Okolis. It will follow in that order. Dr. Douglas.
Good evening, good evening. My name is Dr. Christian Douglas, and I'm an assistant professor and program director for the undergraduate program in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. We are here today to honor the hard work of all of the graduates that are seated. As we honor you all, I bring to remembrance that today marks the 70th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education. And today, schools are more segregated than ever before. I highlight this as a reminder that there is still so much more work for you to do, and you are all uniquely prepared and positioned to take it up. So this is part of your charge as a graduate to go into the world, and as the late civil rights activist John Lewis implored us all to do, to get into good trouble for systemic change. And as Provost Gilbert highlighted earlier, you are the answer to someone's prayer. So with that being said, will the candidates for the following degrees please stand? Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education, Bachelor of Arts in Educational Studies, Master of Arts in Special Education, and Master of Arts in Teaching Secondary Education. Please proceed to your left side of the stage to be hooded by the faculty from the Department of Curriculum and Instruction and to receive congratulations from the Dean of the School of Education, Dr. J. Fidel Turner, Jr., and Provost Charlene Gilbert. Miss Amara Jackson.
My niece. Go ahead, baby.
Miss Deshalusha Lewis. Miss Brianna Robinson. Miss Shania Thomas.
That's my girl. Yeah. I like her. You did.
Miss Shanoli Cooper.
That's my baby.
That's that cousin right there. Shania. Yeah, Shania.
Mr. Jakir Jackson. Miss Aisha Daniel. Miss Alexis Fuller. And Miss Celestia Riley. Congratulations.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you're enjoying yourself tonight, or this evening. It gives me great pleasure to present to you two of the most spectacular scholars I've had in a very long time. So let me begin this way.
in the Bible and in the book of Matthew, specifically in the chapter 18 and verse 20. Matthew records this way. He says, where two are gathered in his name, Jesus will be in the midst. Today, we have two candidates in the school counseling program that I shall present to you. They are our super scholars. They have weathered the storm when they had every reason to quit. Several of their friends did. But these two young ladies, they held on to their faith. They forged on anyhow. They recall the sacrifices of their ancestors near and far. They set out to defy all the odds and all the negativities that you hear about our people. They realize that their black lives matter and that they have a God-given gift to help save America's children by propelling them like the wind toward hope, wellness, and a life that's full of dreams that do come true. Please help me welcome two of the finest daughters that I never gave birth to, but they allowed me to be their adopted mom. So you see, parents, when you send your children off and those tears that you have when you send them off, I have them today as I send them and release them back to you and into this world. So I call to the stage now our two candidates for graduation from the school counseling program. They are earning their master's degree in school counseling. So please come to the stage after you go left to Dr. Ray for your hoodie. I present first to you Miss Christina Brantley. I call this young lady, who is now highly employed by the Atlanta Public Schools as a high school counselor. And our second candidate for graduation, Ms. Shaquilla Matthews. I present this highly employed scholar who will be a middle school counselor in Clayton County Schools.
That empower us to rewrite our narratives, therefore transforming our wounds into wisdom. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Chastity Todd, Program Director for the Clinical Mental Health Counseling Program here at the illustrious Clark Atlanta University. Today marks a significant milestone in the lives of our graduates from the Department of Counselor Education. Counseling graduates, you will stand as beacons of hope, armed with the knowledge and skills to make a huge difference in the lives of others. In this noble profession of counseling, we have chosen to be the voice for those who are struggling to be heard, the guiding light for those lost in the darkness, and the unwavering support for those who face their battles every day. We have chosen to be healers, listeners, and advocates for the marginalized, the vulnerable, and the broken. Today, we celebrate your decision to be selfless change agents. Will the candidates for the Master of Arts degree in Clinical Mental Health Counseling please stand at this time? You may proceed to the left side of the stage to Dr. Ray. Katie Barber. Maya Carter. LaShonica Giles. Brittany Jenkins. Nelson Quinones Jr. And Dorian Washington. These are our clinical mental health counseling graduates.
Pressure. Ed leadership, last but not least. All right. Whew, this is sentimental, much like Dean Turner. It has been almost 10 years since I sat where you all are sitting. And I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for these amazing, brilliant scholars to our right from the Department of Educational Leadership faculty. Thank you. Because of them, I was prepared to go out into a very scary world, an unknown world. But because of God, my family, my faith, and of course their wise words, I was able to do some really, really amazing things. But there's no place like home. I am Dr. Sonia Okoli, Assistant Professor and Program Director for Higher Ed Leadership. As I bring you greetings, I also stand before you with a reminder not to forget your values and your purpose. Graduates, be the change you want to see in the world. Graduates, be the change you want to see in the world. Today, as educational leaders, you will face many challenges that you will be expected to have all the answers for. Things like the DEI war in our K-12 school curriculum, the ending of affirmative action in college admissions, and the stand against social justice. But we want you to promise us that you will never forget. You will never forget that you were all taught to find a way or make one. Congratulations. Now, will the candidates for the following degrees please stand? Masters of Arts in Educational Leadership, Doctor of Education in P-12 Leadership, and Doctor of Education in Higher Ed Leadership. Please proceed to the left of the stage. Please proceed to the left of the stage to be hooded by the faculty from the Department of Educational Leadership. Dean of School of Education, Dr. J. Fidel Turner, and Provost Charlene Gilbert. Master of Arts, Calandra Davis. Fernanda Ramirez. Fernanda Garcia Herrero Ramirez, my apologies. Nakia Gordon. Rachel Gross. David Johnson. Tracy Malloy. Stacy Martin. Ashley Okonta Matthews. Dorcas Sims. Monique Smith. Elwood Thompson. Carol Welch.
It's our fourth master's, 8th degree. Go ahead, Karen.
Doctor of Education, Educational Leadership P12, Benjamin Needle. Hector Sanchez. Doctor of Education, Higher Education Leadership, Nufand Alzani, Abdullah Balmad, Wesley Dandridge, Tawan Dix, Keisha Foster, Taryn Devon, Barandi Green, Kimberly Mason, good thing I know y'all, right? Johnny Miller Jr., Whitney Palmer, David Scott,
Doctor number 2.
Joyette Lewis Wesley, Kavia Mitchell Williams Sr., Naranda Wright, Shatara King, Fred Mitchell, and Najee Lane. Thank you.
Let's give our graduates another round of applause. We have some special recognitions that we would like to do at this time. I believe some of these individuals are here. And we do this at the end of our closing pudding ceremony so that the students and graduates have an opportunity to say thank you as well. And so there are a few individuals that, well, one person is not here, Dr. James Young, who has decided to retire from the Department of Curriculum Instruction. He did receive his award a few weeks ago because we had the annual James Young Symposium where we were able to give him his Dean's Recognition Award. So he received it a few weeks ago. But there are some other individuals that we're going to recognize tonight. One is not here. Dr. Calvin Brown is receiving the Dean's Distinguished Service Award. Dr. Calvin Brown is the Associate Vice Provost in the Provost Office. And I wish he was here. And Provost, will you take it on his behalf? Dr. Brown works so closely with us around our accreditation efforts, and so we appreciate Dr. Brown. This next individual happens to be here this evening. And she works very closely with us. She's worked with me, I know, for the last 6 years during my deanship, as we have forged a very strong collaboration with Atlanta Public Schools and Booker T. Washington High School. She does this with a lot of passion and care and a lot of mothering, right? My Booker T. Washington students. Yes. And when y'all are wrong, she checks you. Yes. And when you're right, she loves on you. And tonight, it gives me great pleasure and honor to give the Dean's Distinguished Service Award to Ms. Tiffany Stembridge Taylor. This next individual is not here, but you all have worked with her, and you wouldn't be in any of your classes if we didn't have this person here. And her name is Miss Susan Gibson. She's our University Registrar. We will be sure that she receives her Dean's Distinguished Service Award. She works day and night, literally. I've come over here on Saturday evening or Sunday afternoon to pick up something I've left behind, and Miss Gibson's car is in the parking lot to make sure you all are registered in your classes, that you're processed for graduation. And so she's probably working right now to make sure everything is okay for tomorrow, but we'll make sure that Ms. Gibson receives her award. This next individual, she's quiet and soft-spoken, caring. She loves on those kids in the Upper Bound program like no other. She writes recommendation letters that are beautifully written. And she was recently admitted to our doctoral program in higher education. She's going to be a student in our program. She got her master's in the School of Social Work. And she's probably looking at me right now like, I know you're not talking about me, Dean Turner. But this award goes to Miss Felicia Hammonds for her hard work. Miss Felicia Hammonds. Once again, we try to model what it means to say, thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone. I'm going to have a couple of reminders before we close. We are going to take a class photo. If it's not too dark outside, photographer. Is it okay for us to go? Okay. We were going to do it in front of Harkness Hall, but that area has been Thank you. Mr. Berry always keeps me on track. Well, we're going to take that photograph in front of Trevor Arnett, which is right next to the School of Education. So as we process out graduates, please process to Trevor Arnett so we can take the School of Education class photo. And followed by that, we will have, you can come into the School of Education. We have a nice refreshment box for you to take with you. We know that you're ready to get ready for tomorrow. It's an early morning, and you want to meet and greet family and do all those things you want to do, go to the hotels or back home or wherever you want to go. So we have something for you to take with you as you depart the campus. The platform guests will exit first, followed by the School of Education faculty and graduates. There are also some awards that some of our faculty were not able to, and staff were not able to pick up when they were awarded. And so Mr. Berry has reminded me that I need to make sure that I give those recognitions out for those faculty and staff who've been at the university for a number of years. And so the first one is, for 5 years of service, Dr. Chika Aku, would you please come forward? Marking 10 years of service, Dr. Sean Warner. Marking 20 years of service, Dr. Sheila Gregory. Forget about a very special person who advises our undergraduate students, Ms. Gail Berry, marking 5 years of service. Ms. Gail Berry. Ms. Berry is also a doctoral student in the higher education program. I believe she's working on her dissertation now. So Ms. Gail Berry. Now have our closing prayer and sending forth by Dr. Hector Sanchez, graduate, Department of Educational Leadership. Dr. Sanchez.
Greetings, congratulations, and blessings. Blessings to you, your family, and your ancestors. Ibae means we pay homage to our ancestors in Yoruba. Today we pay homage to our ancestors as we are the result of their prayers and sacrifices that were met with our hard work. We are on sacred land, and we acknowledge the impact of colonialism as we stand on the lands of the Cherokee and the Muskogee, and of their forced removal under the Indian Removal Act of 1830, and of the historic disregard that continues through the building of Cop City, and the historic displacement of black communities under the guise of urban renewal. This acknowledgement is a prayer, is a call to engage in action with decolonization movements such as the Indigenous Peoples Power Project or the First Nations Development Institute, and a call for all of us to show up as anti-oppressive pedagogues. We remember that close to 500,000 of African people experienced slavery here in Georgia, and yet by 1865, with the establishment of Atlanta University, we resisted. In the spirit of self-determination, we pray and we recognize with gratitude that we inherit today as alumni of Clark Atlanta University, a strong legacy of brilliant and critical pedagogues that embody bravery and genius. May that legacy walk with us. Destiny and divine purpose have called us to the ministry of education and to enter into a sacred covenant that honors our ancestors by serving our children. As the Lakota leader, Crazy Horse, stated, this land was not given to us by our ancestors, but lent to us by our descendants. For us, we are obliged to curate it with the capacity of our consciousness, care, and commitment. Consciousness refers to the right mindset, the ability to continuously create safe and equitable spaces, and believe deeply that every child can learn, and that every learner deserves an opportunity to maximize their potential. Understanding that there may not be a more worthwhile endeavor in this world than to ensure that students have safe places to learn by providing them with opportunity and access for them to be free and to be themselves and simultaneously have a sense of wellness and belonging. I sought and found that refuge here at Clark Atlanta University, one of the few places where I felt the freedom to show up authentically. This freedom to be me was fostered by my mentor and professors and manifested in a dissertation that I believe would not have been able to write anywhere else besides in the oasis of thought and expression in the heart of the South. I pray we continuously find those oases wherever we travel. I believe that we cannot have peace without justice, and we cannot have justice without the truth. So when there are attempts to silence, skew, and erase the truth, our charge is to speak truth consistently back into history through the transformative work that we will do as educators. As a result of Clark Atlanta University's culturally relevant approach to meeting their scholars' holistic needs, we have not only transcended the goal of graduation, but joined a community of scholars that are committed to the ideals of using education as a tool for liberation. The ability to obtain my doctorate has been the actualization of my ancestors' prayers, as with one generation, I have contributed to the paradigm shift that the Sanchez's and Fernandez's are scholars. Acquiring this degree is an invitation to my sons, nephews, nieces to do the same. Therefore, personally completing this degree has been the breaking of generational trauma, and now better equips me to engage in abolitionist pedagogy and the dismantling of the preschool to prison pipeline. I pray that we keep those commitments. Even though these degrees that are bestowed upon us today are part of a historic educratic institutionalization of systems of power and oppression, we are now called to continue to decolonize our experience by amplifying the voice of others and engaging in the ongoing struggle for liberation through our pedagogy. These degrees don't grant us the power to speak more, but instead to listen more closely, to reflect more often, and remain committed to the disruption of oppressive systems and institutions. I pray that we prioritize our healing from the historical harm that we have endured collectively, while simultaneously remaining cognizant of the collateral trauma that we are acquiring as we engage in this liberatory work, and that we find those communities of care to hold space for us. I pray that the therapeutic process that occurred for me in the healing of learning, see, the science of reading deals with learning how to read, yet the spirit of reading gets us to connect and fall in love with the word. Reading transcends test scores when it gives us the ability to create, because if in the beginning was the word, then by engaging with the word, we are able to engage with the creator. And the ability to create, and therefore inherit the duty to give that ability to others. Yet if in the beginning was the word, is the end silence? If it is, then we must write, we must read, we must speak truth to power, to teach others to do the same. As alumni of Clark Atlanta University, I pray that we may always find our ways or make one. As we take this moment to celebrate before we continue on to our journey, charged with our divine purpose, I pray that we may never lose our way and consistently be change agents and advocates for social justice and equity, regardless of the challenges before us. I pray that we remain brave as we engage in courageous conversations, and that our compass always brings us back to our purpose. The charge we receive today as alumni to continuously fight for our freedom, as it is our destiny to win. I end by saying I love you, because there are those that hate us without even knowing us, for they know our charge. Yet I know that our God and our ancestors are with us, so we shall have no fear. Amen.